I believe that the panel was very proficient at the moment to say the message, which is, okay, there are challenges, there are difficulties, and also there are answers to the questions that most people say.
The future leaders of the oil and gas industry are here at OTC to learn from the best. Geared towards young professionals, the ever-popular Next Wave program offered insight on how unconventional and renewable resources will contribute to the energy mix and how it might impact the conventionals market.
It's like a whole package that can help you to understand how we are moving towards. It says that we, the youngs, we need to understand that no matter how small the job is, it's an opportunity. And the opportunity has to be taken, no matter what.
Helge Halderson, OTC board member and Statoil North America's Vice President of Strategy, led the program as this year's keynote speaker. He shared his passion for the industry and what he believes young professionals need to be successful. So joining me now, Helge, inspiring speech for those young professionals. Why is it important for OTC to have this Next Wave program?
You know, we totally depend on them. If you look at the world demand for energy going forward, from 2013 to 2050, we're going to need 100% more energy because the population goes from 7 to 9 billion. And then you have many old guys like me leaving the industry. So we are totally dependent on them, you know, to deliver the energy that the world needs.
Panelists from around the world then dove into the changing factors of the industry and how these trends will impact young professionals.
As you look at the young people interacting with us seasoned vets, is really adaptability, curiosity, willingness to learn and not move on too quickly, and then pull that through your career. And then how to communicate, you know, very important in today's electronic world for keeping the human element, because that's where your networks are built.
Panelists spoke about the challenges they faced throughout their careers, how their own experiences impacted where they are today, and also provided advice for young professionals on how to survive in the global market.
What I found is that it's really important to spend the right amount of time on the technical aspects of your career. I spent a decade perfecting my craft as a technical professional, and I've spent the last 10 years in management roles. And I really talked to the folks today about the importance of building good, strong, credible backgrounds and good, strong, credible careers and good, strong, credible foundations on which you can build careers over the long term. I think that's what really has served me well over my career.
I think it's interesting for them to see that there are people who are so passionate about this business that they've stayed in it their entire careers. They may change companies, they may change focus in what they're doing, but they don't leave the industry by and large because there are so many different opportunities, and it's good for them to see many different ways of getting where they want to be.
The Next Wave program also gave young professionals the opportunity to discuss and explore career development options with leaders in the industry.
It was a great experience because honestly, thinking back, I thought that parts would have been different to what something I would have wanted to do, but it's the same process. Like history repeats itself, so it's like learning from their mistakes or learning from what they did, and I could apply it to my life so to be easier in achieving those goals.
I think I did the best networking here that I'll do over the entire course of the conference. I was able to ask my questions firsthand and then get them answered.
The Next Wave program is the ideal event for young professionals to gain insight for the future of their careers, and this year was no different. For OTC TV, I'm Carling Ponder.
There are a lot of technical forums being held at this conference in Denver as well. And to talk about one of them, we've got Fabian Vera. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
So you were one of the presenters today. Tell us about your topic.
Well, my topic was about diagnosing pressure-dependent permeability using shale gas and shale pressure transient and production analysis. It can be kind of hard to get at the beginning, but it's getting easier nowadays because of the boom of the shale gas and shale oil.
Okay, so tell me, what were you telling the people who were in attendance then?
Well, using a quote that get the best with what you get to reduce your uncertainty. We use early and late responses from the reservoir so you can characterize and get a better long-term performance, which actually helps a lot when you want to do forecast for production, which is actually the things that are moving the industry to see which are the most exciting areas to invest.
Well, I mean, you talk about long-term production. We hear a lot about how there are new sources of unconventional oil being found and such. And And they weren't aware of the reserves that were out there before. Is this something that ties into that?
In a certain way, yes, because most people love to forecast and shoot the numbers, but the problem is if you don't understand the physics, if you don't understand the behavior, most likely you will be very inaccurate. One of the techniques that we just discussed on my topic and also on all my colleagues yesterday and also tomorrow is about to get and capture even more what happens down there so you can be more pleased here in the surface.
Okay. Do you find you're relatively new to the oil industry? A lot of the people that we've had a chance to speak with have been in it for years, perhaps even decades. When you look at it, does it seem like they talk about how it's moving quickly when it comes to technology. Do you feel it's moving quickly?
Absolutely. And that's the thing I want to be very emphatic. When we talk about technical disciplines, people who came out with masters or PhDs think they can know a lot. Actually, it is not, because the expertise you acquire in the school can be just done in 1 year. Make it 2 years. Is the techniques that you learn, the way you study and also you experiment, that can be applied in your life, that can keep you with a state of art of mind all the way. That's why people enhances their knowledge for up to 40 years. Let's say technical fellows. Let's say people who go towards business. It's because they began to learn by life, daily basis, step by step, every day. And that's why they began to be on big positions. It's because they study and they did the business every day. I remember, and I want to quote one of my professors right there in Texas A&M, Stephen Holditch. He told to me, look, the way you can endure in this industry is making your best every day. And he's a very big guy right now, retired, and giving advice to a lot of companies.
That is, of course, great advice for anybody, no matter what they do.
I absolutely agree. It's not in this industry, but in any other industry. That will be the best way to share knowledge.
Yes. Fabian, thank you very much.
Thanks to you.
Okay. That's Fabian Vera right here on Can I Media.
The greatest minds in the global E&P industry are here in New Orleans by the thousands for opening day. Hi, I'm Ed Highland for SPE TV, here on the exhibition floor for the 89th annual SPE Annual Technical Conference and Exhibition. ATCE members from more than 50 countries are here learning about emerging technologies and products.
It's where things are happening, where I want to go for new technology and that kind of stuff. Allows me to get information out to the industry.
They're also connecting with world-renowned experts in all phases of oil and gas exploration and production.
It provides opportunity for engineers in the world to brainstorm on how the better ways to run and operate in the oil and gas business.
But this is more professional and I can meet more engineers and all.
An unbeatable experience to come to the, I have not missed one in 30 some years, so it's really a very educational and profitable experience too.
The ATCE opening general session offered insights into the industry along with a few laughs. Engineer and comedian Don McMillan talked about a need for a translator when engineers talk to people outside the field.
So if an engineer says to you, for example, did sales tell you that? Did sales tell you that? That really means it doesn't do that. That's not even really possible. If an engineer says, so far we're on schedule, that translates to we haven't started yet.
McMillan can relate to attendees because he is an engineer. He had attendees in stitches as he reviewed a lineup of the day's sessions.
Flow path characterization, a deterministic approach for reconciliation of flow capacity changes from matrix and fractures productivity in deep Jurassic reservoirs in North Kuwait. I'm sorry, that's all the time we have for today's presentation. Thank you for coming.
Don was phenomenal. It was a wonderful change of pace to have comedy at an SPE meeting to get everyone's attention. It's like the attendants on Southwest Airlines. You pay attention when they're making you laugh.
The products and exhibitors here on the exhibition floor are in use today and perhaps will be tomorrow. And speaking of the future, that was the topic for today's opening general session. Joe Bryant from Cobalt Energy led a discussion with industry leaders, including executives from FMC, BSEE, Shell Oil, Diamond Offshore Drilling, and Baker Hughes about the future of deepwater exploration. They agree that one of the biggest challenges for the future is the great crew change.
We need people who are going to be able to step in and understand the mechanics and the way that these massive pieces of equipment move in relationship to one another. And what we find is that these young kids that have been playing games all their life are absolutely fantastic at doing this.
This crew change we're talking about, not only are we going to have a problem, are we going to have enough talent, we're losing a lot of the experienced talent. So this is the number one challenge of the industry. So it's not that we can't overcome these technologies, as daunting and complex as they might be. Where are we going to get the talent? So that's, to me, it just boils down to that, and the panel conversations seem to get to that point fairly quickly.
Another important facet of the industry is emerging technology. Panelists say collaboration is key for finding balance between bringing product to market quickly and the safety risks involved. We caught up with attendees to see what they thought about the panel's discussion.
The session was excellent. I think it has a broad of different prospect of deep water challenges in the industry. It was an open area for us to understand what is coming in the future.
I believe that the panel was very proficient at the moment to say the message, which is, okay, there are challenges, there are difficulties, and also there are answers to the questions that most people say.
Something new this year, the opening general session was live streamed to a global audience. So if you missed it, be sure to check it out on SPE.org/ATCE. SPE's publication JPT has been focusing on young technologies in print, and now we're bringing it to life. SPE TV's Carrie Farinack is standing by in the JPT Young Technology Showcase. Carrie?
Thanks, Ed. To be considered for the Young Technology Showcase, technology has to meet 4 criteria. Has to be new, have proven technical content, make a significant impact, and be innovative. The presentations went into unique modeling grids for wells with complex trajectories.
I think the main aspect would be the fact that we have an unstructured grid that can capture all the details near our wellbore trajectory, that can smoothly merge into a full-field simulation grid. And this allows us to have a simulation that is valid at any time scale, basically. So you can do either transient analysis or full-field simulation.
A challenge for engineers is keeping a close eye on fluid flow. Current methods work, but new optic imaging technology allows you to see in real time down to the nanoparticle scale.
You can get particle morphology as well as diameter, and you can actually visually inspect the particles themselves, so you can see, oh, this is what the particles look like. Because if you just look at the base raw diameter, you don't necessarily know what particle types you have.
A percentage of new wells and many older wells develop leaks. James Layton explains there are ways you can patch the problem and potentially reap big savings.
So we've done several jobs here, I didn't mention it, but where we've saved several $1 million worth of completion by setting a simple patch which restores the original casing integrity without limiting access to the well below.
Be sure to come down to the Young Technology and Hot Topic Showcase to check out all the things that are going on. We're near aisle 3400 across from the Pemex booth. And in this booth, attendees are learning how to communicate, collaborate, and connect, all in a new way. It's SPE Connect. Create your free profile, and it's the perfect way for you to discuss tech sessions and more.
And it can take your networking contacts that you create at the conference and keep them live, right? So now, not only will you have that conference contact and be able to stay in touch with them, but you may then be introduced to some of their contacts in their network. And so things start linking together, right? I think the biggest benefit is just connecting with my peers and having really focused conversations and accessing their experience and their knowledge.
It's also a great source for young professionals looking to enhance their marketability.
I got the opportunity to have a professional picture taken, great quality, great staff, and they made sure I looked good so that I could have something professional for my SP Connect profile, and then also something that I can use for my LinkedIn profile, just so I have that sharp professional look so I can market myself better to industry.
If you have your photo taken at SPE Connect, be sure to enter for your chance to win an iPad mini. Ed, back to you.
Attendees took a look at old and new methods of fracturing in today's technical program.
There are two aspects to the paper. Number one is what kind of steps can they take in order to reduce the possibility of having problems during the frac job, first. And second, if they are having problems, give them clues as to how to diagnose where the problem comes from. This is the premier meeting of the petroleum engineers all over the world. So it is quite important for papers to be presented here. I'm very honored that my paper was accepted and I got an opportunity to present it. But if you want to get a large audience and reach petroleum engineers all over the world, this is where you do it.
That does it for this edition of SPE TV. I'm Ed Highland. Thanks for joining us. If you'd like to catch up on previous editions of the highlights, you can go to spe.org/ATCE, or you can download from the mobile app. We'll see you next time. Thanks for joining us.